Hi, hello, good evening. I'm so happy to welcome you in another episode of Aura Flows Through Thoughts. I couldn't be more excited because today I have an episode for you inspired by the new moon and the end of the year coming so soon. Literally, I don't know when the time has passed. Time doesn't exist, but it's almost 2025. It sounds crazy. So I wanted to share my thoughts with you on if to stay hibernated or to stay active. And by staying active, I don't really mean in the workout type of way. It also could be, but not only. And for our life to be intentional, it's good to have an overview. So I just wanted to take you through my thoughts on both ways, kind of pros and cons, but also putting them side by side and seeing what comes out. I'm not really sure what's going to be an outcome. I have some of my notes in front of me, so we'll see. I'm your host, Demi Explory, and this is Aura Flows Through Thoughts, the safe space that we co-create to talk about daily life inspirations in order to find the most effortless way to be mindful in your body so you can live your dream life. Let's slow down a little, take a deep breath, and make the aura flow. Okay. Let me start with what started all of this thought process in my head, which was the first rainy day in Amsterdam. And I don't mean rainy like there was some rain, because the rain is here almost always. But the first day that it was raining constantly, all day, full day, with this cold, unpleasant rain. And this is the type of weather that you just want to crawl in your bed, stay in your blanket, smoke a joint, and have your tea. Or maybe if you don't smoke, then skip that part, but you get the vibe. This is the great weather to read a little, or watch a movie, or maybe binge some series like I do right now. I'm watching Orange is the New Black again. And this is perfect. But considering that there's only 2 months of this year left, which still sounds crazy, and also because I'm an explorer and I don't really feel like staying in my bed for the rest of the year, or probably even more, because the winter will not be finished with the start of 2025. Whoa. So let's say this is going to be a list for me and maybe for you too. Maybe you're going to benefit, I hope so, from this list as well. Of what can we do, of what is so amazing in going out, but also in staying in, and to kind of have an overview, what can we gain doing both, so we can take a more conscious decision on if you want to stay in or go out. And by saying that, I don't really mean if you want to go to your work or not, because, well, I'm only considering the time that you have the space to decide what to do. And I understand if you're working, especially if you're working full-time and you already have to go out of the house, commute in the rain, whatever, in the cold rain, whatever, and come back home, then you probably will want to stay home. But maybe there is an option for you not to get back home, but go out, sit somewhere right after your work. Okay, let me just say this one more thing, is that I'm not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. You know better than I do what is better for you. I'm here to give you the safe space for you to consider what you want to do, because you are allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. So I'm here to support you in that. And it is not my intention at all to tell you you have to go out because if you don't, then you're gonna rot away in bed. No, we're not using even that term. We're using hibernation or staying active. I also had the idea to name them hibernation and inspiration because they're sounding good together, but later on I realized that you can also get inspired by being in bed or like at home. So we're not going with that, but keep that in mind because we're gonna get back to it. Okay, so I kind of want to start with the staying active part just because I think staying in is more interesting either way for now. So I just want to throw something on the other side, which is, of course, it is dark, it is cold, and it is raining outside. Not right now. Fingers crossed it's gonna stay that way today because I want to go out. But when it's dark at, I don't know, 5 p.m. now or 6, yeah, we don't love that. I get it. But if you're going out after the dark, after the sun sets, you can see all these beautiful lights on the street. I mean, on the trees. I don't know if they're in your city now, but in Amsterdam, they're already put up. And oh my god, I just love that view. It looks so romantic and cozy and kind of Christmassy vibes, which is a little too soon for me, not gonna lie, but it gives the vibe. And also, I'm all about side lighting and some extra lights, so it just gets me. Like, don't leave me with only the boring street lights. I love it too. I have a tattoo on my leg, but if you can add a little extra and the little lights on the trees, that just makes everything a little more magical. I don't know why I'm thinking about Alice in Wonderland. It's probably not even it, but it kind of gives me this mystical, queer, odd vibes. You can probably think of a better context here. The point is, if you go out, you're not gonna miss all those beautiful lights. And for sure, you can see those on your way back from work or something, but maybe that happens when it's not fully dark yet. But maybe if you live close to a street like that, you can come back home, make a tea to your thermos, and just go on a little walk. There's nothing better than drinking something warm outside when it's freezing cold. Don't forget your gloves though. They're gonna save your ass. Just stay warm, okay? Dressing for the weather, not for the looks. You can also dress for the looks, but for the weather as well. Be warm. Your health is coming first. Okay, I'm too excited. Too many thoughts coming back. So drinking something warm outside, you can just walk. When you can see the air coming out of your mouth when you breathe out. And here I also want to recommend deep breaths on the outside. There is something weirdly comforting when you can see your breath, so try it out. But this walking part, I kind of understand it is only possible if it's not raining, so maybe not all the time. Speaking about the lights, you can of course decorate your room and your whole house and lit up some candles and put some side lightings. We love that. It's giving that ambience, it's giving the whole cozy vibe. Can come only if you turn off the main lighting. I hate that. And actually, the main lighting broke in my room 2 days ago. I don't know what happened. It just stopped working. Like, it happens in my life. Something just stops working. Maybe I just need to switch a bulb. I want to admit, I'm probably not gonna do it soon, only because I don't like that light either way. So let it just stay like that. And to make this side by side, I want to mention the drinks. that you can have at your home as well, like a tea or warm cacao with some marshmallows. You can really get crazy here and creative. And for me, it's usually a tea, and I love to make my own, meaning mix some herbs like some sage and a little peppermint and some lavender, and just explore my witchiness by mixing all those herbs to make a tea. I just love to experiment with things like that, so you can go easy with that and just pick up one tea and, go to the store, have an intention of getting a tea that is going to give you comfort and, really put your mind onto it while choosing it. See what you're drawn to. Maybe it's the packaging. Maybe you feel like, oh, I really want to try lavender and the tea because it has some calming values. And, sky's the limit and you do it for yourself. So get fancy, although it doesn't have to be fancy, but, treat yourself. Because at the end of the day, the point is to survive the time, the winter, the shitty weather. So we want to feel cozy, and it's all for us. We want to feel ourselves good and make it easier on us. So I would really recommend getting a drink just for yourself. So it's like a go-to drink when you don't feel your best. And here I also want to mention about decorating your space a little. And I'm not really a fan of changing all of my decorations for the season and buying new bedding, and those dust catching pieces. I have some in my room that I'm looking around right now, but like not for the season. I don't have any pumpkins and stuff for the fall. But I love a good candle holder. I love to have some lights, maybe a new pillow or a super soft blanket that is gonna make you feel good in this time when you're staying home. I think it's worth investing. And when it comes to those little things, I love to find them secondhand and in thrift stores. There is this one particular place that I'm thinking about. It's like a chain and it has few spots in Amsterdam. It's called Rataplan Krijg something something. I'm not really nailing the Dutch pronunciation. Sorry for that. I didn't even say the full word. Never mind. But this is the place that is secondhand and basically has everything. Like you can buy their clothes and then all the plates, cutlery, electronics, some toys. You can find there everything. Also because I love to thrift, but there's nothing better than finding this one particular piece and bringing it to your space and, finding a place for it, or even in the store when you see it and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna put it there. It's also a great tip if you tend to overbuy. Then think about what you're gonna do with it, where you're gonna put it. Quickly, I want to share a tip for clothing. Oh my God, this whole episode is really just me blabbing. I hope you're here for that. So if I find a piece of clothing and I'm like, okay, do I buy it? If not, why not? I really want to have it. Then I think about 3 outfits that I can put together with this piece. And if I come up with 3 different ones, then it means I have enough clothing to pair it with. And then I can buy the thing. Okay. I didn't really want to share the clothing tips, but look at that. This is the perfect segue to go to another point of going out, which is you can plan your outfits. And I mentioned a little bit about dressing for the weather, and I'm struggling with it so much because I bike everywhere. This is my way of transport. So usually when I go out of the house, I'm cold, then I hop on my bike and I'm biking and I'm so sweaty and I get somewhere and I'm cold because I cool down and now I'm freezing, and then I hop on my bike again and I'm too warm once again. So I don't really have this figured all out, But I really love to, put an outfit together and just play with my colors. If you haven't noticed on my Instagram that I'm a colorful girly, you can check it out if you're interested. I'm at dummy.exploring. That was a smooth ad. Anyways, going out for me means what can I wear and just playing with it. And I love this type of weather because I love layering and putting just 15 layers on myself. And then if I'm too warm, I can take something off, but not too much. Like, I don't have one big chunky sweater that if I take off, I'm only left with a t-shirt or something. I would really love to make some outfit content on Instagram as well. Let me know if you would be interested in that. But also, I live for outfit repeating. Like, if something is working for you, why don't you wear it 5 times a week? Okay, maybe that's a little too much, but, don't throw it out just because you wore it once. That's such a waste. Let more people see how beautiful you are. And we also love to care about our planet, so don't throw it away just because 2 people saw you in that already. Give other people a chance to see it as well. And of course, if you go out, you can do some activities by yourself, like go to the movies or go to the restaurant by yourself. Although in the restaurant, people actually can see your outfit, and the movies not so much. And I would really encourage you to start doing things on your own. But for me, staying in is kind of staying on my own. So if I want to go out, although I love to go to the movies by myself, going out gives me an opportunity to meet people. And besides meeting with my friends, so we can set a date and meet up and catch up, and this is great. But you can also go out to meet people, which is a whole other story on how to meet people when you're an adult and you don't study, as I do. Or even when you're studying, like where to meet them besides the university or besides your workplace. I'm sure you can find some great, amazing, wholesome events happening in your city if you're living in a bigger city. If not, that might be a little more difficult, but then you could plan a one-day trip to a bigger city just for an event. That's also pretty fun. Planning the events, planning to go out. But okay, how do I look for the events? And what kind of events do I mean? So basically it depends on what do you like. Once again, I'm not here to tell you what to do, and because I'm saying this one type of event, that's the only one you can attend to. Like, no, you already know that. What I'm saying is that I love some good artsy events. I love places where I can get inspired, where I can see another person by one's work. So, for example, not even events, but going to museums is a great dose of inspiration for me. And especially sharing the time with another person where we can talk about what we see and our thoughts on it. So you can bring a friend there, or you can just talk to a stranger standing next to you, looking at the same piece, and ask, what are your thoughts on this? What are your feelings? And maybe you want to share yours. But I kind of believe that it's easier to make friends on the events. I have 2 main websites that I look for events that are, honestly, I have a hard time explaining what type of event I would look for. Usually it's just something that looks interesting, like the picture, the name, the description. Something has to catch my eye. But like, I love crafting, so anything that's crafty would be something that would interest me. Or if it's in my neighborhood, then why not if it's so close? I love when an event is free of charge or by donation, €5 up to 10. If it's more, then I'm a little more hesitant if I want to attend. And it also comes from my exploring nature that I don't really mind if the event won't satisfy me because I will find something that is good in it or something I can learn from it, or it's just gonna be a great story to tell later. So I'm already past the idea, oh, I'm not sure if it's worth it, but that's why I try to stay within the range up to 10 euro because, well, it's just I don't like to spend more on the things I'm not sure if I'm gonna enjoy, let's say. Okay, where do I look for the events? So the first page that's exclusive for Amsterdam because it's called Amsterdam Alternative. And you have to go to the agenda tab and then you'll see basically every day there is something happening and there are different things there. You just have to look through it, but I'm sure you can find something that's interesting for you. And the second website is a little more universal because I know it works in more cities and more countries than only the Netherlands. It's called radar.squad.net, I suppose it is. And here you need to put a filter on for your city only, and there are even more affordable events, things like for free. For example, I found there a Takeland shop, was it called, I believe, that was 100% discount, basically. So only volunteers worked there, and you basically could bring your clothes for donation. They went through everything and set up on the racks as a secondhand store. And then you can just come in and get something for free. So for sure, this one was exciting. And if you don't have anything to do, just take some time to look through those pages. Maybe Facebook will show you some events. I used to look for events on Facebook when I lived in Wrocław in Poland, but not anymore because I don't really think I'm in the right algorithm in Amsterdam, or maybe people are not publishing stuff on the Facebook here. I don't know. If you have any other place you would look for events, please let me know. If it's for Amsterdam or like if you have a tip, universal tip for the whole world, let me know. I'm very curious. And now I want to get into why I didn't want to call the episodes hibernation versus inspiration. Because when you're staying home, you can also get inspired and you can do so many different things. And I know the easiest one is just to watch a movie. But there are so many crafts you can do or things you can learn. But there is nothing more fun than doing something artsy. I don't know, creating something. I'm living for the creation. That's why I do this podcast, by the way. And I love that I can do it. And I'm so grateful that you're listening to this. Just by the way. So staying at home can be productive and inspirational. And what I would do, and I kind of think I'm going to do it, is when I'm going to have the time in my house, I'm going to create this little jar of crafts, things, whatever I can do. And then putting in several cards with written what I can do. And maybe pulling one up in the morning when I know I have a evening off or, just on Saturday off, what can I do? Because I love to plan things. So if I pull out a card of movies at home, then you know it. I'm gonna buy the snacks, prepare it, make the space, do a little cozy vibe, spend a little while to pick a movie or ask my bestie what can I watch because she's just the best in the movies, and do this whole thing about it because watching a movie doesn't have to be this automatic thing that you do when you don't have anything else to do. It can be exciting when you have the intention for it to be. But what else? I love to bake, so staying at home in wintertime is a great time to bake. There's nothing better than the house smelling of freshly made banana bread. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Or a cinnamon roll. Oof. This is just too good and I'm hungry now. And for this little jar, I would recommend going on Pinterest. Like there's a ton inspirations of what can you do when you stay at home. Just write a bunch that are resonating with you most or that you see yourself doing or maybe trying out something new. And pull one at a time. See if you want to do it. If not, you can always put it back. It's not cheating. It's only for you. It's only there to help you, so you don't have to pressure yourself into doing anything. It's just a little tip from me because I love to have a feeling that I actually did something or something I can talk about with other people. So if they ask me, what did I do? And I only laid in bed and watched Orange is the New Black for the whole day, it's like, well, I watched the series. But if I say, oh, and I got some snacks, and I pull up my pillows, and I built a little fort, and I just cozied up in my bed, and I watched this amazing movie or not so good movie, like, you get the difference here. And I did say that you don't want to push yourself into doing anything, but I kind of see going out in the rain of pushing myself into doing this, going out of the comfort of being dry and warm in the house. So I really want to make sure that I want to do this. And staying in oftentimes for me means choosing self-care and choosing myself. So doing all my routines and rituals I love to do. Just because I'm pretty active on my daily basis and I do a lot of things and I meet a lot of people either way. But I know that hiding myself for too long in the bed isn't really working for me and isn't really healthy. But I would really love it to be a hibernation and not rotting in my bed. So sometimes, even though going out might be pushing myself a little and going out of my comfort zone, going out of the comfort of the warmth and being dry at the house, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to go out, see something new, and instead of staying in the warmth of the blanket, look for the warmth in conversation, the warmth of inspiration, the excitement of seeing something new. Or coming back to your favorite restaurant and getting the warmth from the food you know you love. And I know this one restaurant just popped into your head, so go ahead, go there this week or next week, make some time, treat yourself. Because especially in the winter time, I'm all about treating myself. And of course, we stay within being reasonable, but still. I don't want to only survive. I want to have the greatest time. And if it's gonna look like me biking for 20 minutes in the rain only to get this cake cafe to eat the best brownie I ever had. It was so warm with raspberries and so melty and so chocolatey. Let it be it. I'm gonna bike in the rain. I'm gonna dress for the weather, have my little rainproof coat, and I'm gonna bike there. Because I know that this brownie will make it up for all the effort that I did to go out of the house, get wet, and get there. So even though it seems cold to go out, it might turn out to be cozy somewhere when you're eating the brownie. And as a thing about what I've said, I kind of lead towards going out. Maybe also because it's not raining today. And I already set my mind on going thrifting today. Let me know, what did you get from this episode? I'm really curious. And once again, I'm so happy that you listened to this episode. Like, oh my god, I couldn't be more grateful for just talking to people and you're listening to me. Ugh. I love you from the bottom of my heart for listening to me blabbing. Like, I don't even know if that makes sense. I just love to talk. And if you loved hearing me talk, go ahead and leave a follow. I'm publishing this type of episodes, Aura Flows Through Thoughts, every 2 weeks. And then the other 2 weeks, I'm posting a meditation practice for you. I'm so happy that I can do this, honestly. If you want to talk with me, because this is the safe space that we co-create and I love reading your messages, hit me up on @dummy.explore on Instagram, and I would love to have a little chat and see your point of view on the topic. Hibernation versus staying active. Share this episode with someone who you think might love my vibe, because my intention is to grow my audience here. So thanks for your help in advance. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Once again, I'm Dummy Explorer, and this is Aura Flows Through Thoughts. Hope to meet you sometime soon again. Be well and bye.